I got Dragon Age the Veilguard for Christmas, and here is my full review of the game. I got the physical edition, and I liked the game so much that I ordered the art book because I'm loving the art of the world. So when it comes to the Dragon Age universe, I have not played the first one or the second one, but I started playing Dragon Age Inquisition in 2014 and I remember enjoying it, and I have been very excited for the next Dragon Age entry. And oh my god, the reception of the game. This game has been review bombed to hell, and I am here to tell you like the truth, because I went into the game after seeing some of the review bombing and the critique, of course. I went into the game with the open mind that I am going to judge this game on my own. And also now recently I saw it was free on PlayStation Plus, which is a good thing. Now, Dragon Age the Veilguard is a super triple-A budget game, and it is a high fantasy medieval RPG, which I love. I love my fantasy RPGs, and also I'm just so hungry for the next Elder Scrolls. But anyways, let's start with the review of Dragon Age the Veilguard. Now, story. So the story goes like this. Solus, which you know maybe from Inquisition if you play that one, he is trying to destroy the Veil, which is like a magical barrier, which will essentially, long story short, kill everyone. And you are the Veilguard, you and your party members, who is guarding the Veil. The story is of course more complicated than that, but this is just a review, so I have to kind of summarize it, okay? Now you disrupt Solus's ritual, destroying the Veil, and now Solus is stuck in the Fade, which is like another dimension, like an in-between sort of dimension, and you can communicate with him through your head. And when you disrupted Solus's ritual, 2 gods came out of the Veil, and now you are gonna save the world and take down these 2 gods, Algernon and Gillenane. Okay, so in this world you have several factions, which you can also level up with. You have the Veil Jumpers, they are like in the Arlethan forest and they're investigating stuff, and they are somewhat one of the first factions you get to know. Then you have the Grey Wardens, which is the military type, I guess. You have the Antivian Crows, which are my favorites. You have the Lords of Fortune, and you have the Morn Watch, and also you have the Shadow Dragons. This game has a lot of story, a lot of cutscenes, and a lot of world building, lore building, and it is very easy to get immersed in this fantasy world because it's very well written, like the lore of the world and the world building and the history of the land. I have been deep diving into like the lore, I've been on forums, and I've been like so obsessed with the Dragon Age universe. And yeah, I should definitely play Dragon Age 1 and 2 now, since I have gotten to learn a lot about this world. Now, a lot of interactions happens between you and your party members. Out and about, you can take with you 2 party members when you're, you know, roaming the world or exploring, and all the time they have unique banter between them.
I do not understand why the Varens are so obsessed with turning dead.
Undead.
Which is different from regular dead how?
The hope that one's soul can return to visit this world.
But you don't need to be dead for that. Your soul is here now.
Not forever.
All of the party members has specific storylines together with each other, sort of thing. So in order to see all of the banter, that's gonna take some time to see it all. And I don't think you're gonna get through all of the dialogue of this game in just one playthrough. It's so fascinating to see. Also, like, a lot of the special missions and special quests in the game, like companion missions and stuff like that, depending on who you brought with you, there is unique dialogue. And it's good, and I like the humor, and it's like so enjoyable. Just the banter alone is so enjoyable in Dragon Age the Veilguard.
They might pass through it just as we would walk through a doorway to the room beyond.
Passing through the doorway of death is still death, Emmerich.
Each of your party members has their own storyline, and a lot of them are so good. And when it comes to the main story, I have to say, that it's really easy to understand this storyline. It's easily explained. I mean, if you are a person that's not really necessarily into a lot of story, it's so easily explained that anyone can understand this storyline. And I know that it got a lot of critique for this, actually. Some of the dialogues, like in the actual main storyline, some of it was deemed bad and cringe. I'm sure you have seen the viral clip. And deep diving into the forums and looking at a lot of discussions about this game, I've been a nerd on this one actually. Someone said that the dialogues of the game is written by several people, and what may have happened is that there was one bad writer and there were also good writers. Because that explains why some of the dialogue is like a 10-year-old could write that. And on the other hand, some other dialogue is like, whoa. So there's a bit of good dialogue and a bit of bad dialogue.
I've had a demon possess the corpse immediately afterwards. Technically, the target was dead, but try explaining that to the person who hired you.
Gameplay! Now, you start out with choosing your character, you know, the usual character customization. You can choose between being a human, an elf, dwarf, or a Qunari. And then you choose your class, which is between rogue, warrior, or mage. I chose mage, but I've also made like a rogue and a warrior. And so far, yeah, my main character is a mage, and I highly recommend that you play as a mage because that is so enjoyable. The combat is so fun when you are a mage. Mage is the way to go if you're gonna take my word for it. Now, your hub world in this game is the lighthouse. In this lighthouse area, which is actually in the Fade, all of your party members has their own little quarters, like their little home, their small apartments, all across this lighthouse in the Fade. And another like fun detail that I noticed is that the rooms of the party members, as you progress their storyline, the companion quests, the rooms change. Items and furniture just gradually gets added to the rooms, and that is also a fun detail that I noticed. Now, gameplay wise, of course, you have the main quest and a ton of other quests. This game is meaty. Averagely, I want to guess that this is like a 120 hours game if you want to complete everything. So content wise, you have a lot to look forward to here. Now, here you can see the map of the world. This is the northern part of Thedas, which is a part of the world that has never been seen in a video game in the Dragon Age universe until now. But a lot of the places has been previously referenced to in the previous Dragon Age games. Now, like I mentioned, you can grind reputation with all of these factions, and that is also very satisfying, which means that the faction shops, they get more items added to them, like collectibles, lore entries, and customizations for yourself and your party members. Which brings me to customization. There is an insane amount of outfits that you can dress up with and collect. And the amount of details in this section alone of the game, I mean, I'm giving praise to the developers for all of the work. This game has taken, in essence, 10 years to create. And Dragon Age the Veilguard has a high fun factor, and I thought about this, like, why do I like this game so much? I like it because it looks so good, but most of all, because it has such a high fun factor. The game is fun to play. I like the combat of the mage. I am loving it, okay? I'm loving exploring. I'm loving finding all of the chests. I'm loving the companions and the dialogue. Like, I'm having fun when I'm playing this game, and it's such a fun game. I want to get that across, that the fun factor is actually high with this game. That is something that I noticed. The world also has a lot of secrets and puzzles. Let me tell you, the puzzles are very simple. Like, they're so simple. It's like they remind me of like the previous puzzle I came across 10 minutes ago. Like, a lot of the puzzles are similar, but every once in a while I get across a puzzle that I'm like, I'm not figuring this out. I need to Google this. Now, this game is not an open world. It has several locations that you travel to. and each location is not necessarily very big, which is a good thing for a lot of people. A lot of people actually prefer smaller areas so that it's more manageable. But every single area has a percentage of completion. This is also very satisfying and really important to point out. I want to get every location to 100%. Of course I do. Now it's just fun to find gear, and you're gonna find gear and upgrades for gear a lot of the time. This game treats gear sort of sparingly. It's not like a Diablo game where you have too much loot, too much gear. Every single piece of equipment is designed for a specific build that you're going for, and often you can find upgrades also for the equipment that you already have in chests. It makes sense when you play it. It's just less cluttery this way. Presentation. Okay, let's start out with all of the locations. Now you have Arlithan Forest. Like in this location, there was a war and the Elves Empire fell like 1,000 years ago. So this place is really interesting. It's one of my favorite locations in the game, Arlithan Forest, actually. A really, really beautiful place. Now you have Treviso, this somewhat darker little town. I'm loving this place as well. Really like rooftop sneaky. I'm liking the vibe of this town. So beautiful. Now you have also the Rivain Shores. One of the most beautiful places in the game, I want to say, because I like biomes like this, like the warm biomes. I've always been like that in all video games. I'm loving these sort of biomes. And that is just some examples of all of the locations that you visit in this game and that you explore in. Also, you have photo mode, which I'm finding enjoyable just to fly around in, to look at stuff, to look at the world and look up close on all of the 3D models of everything. I have been such a geek in this game. Like, who does that? I do. Oh, and this is my biggest tip of the video. Turn off a bloom in the settings. Bloom is like this ugly filter and the game just looks more blurry and like it's a fog constantly. If you turn that off, the game looks sharp and crisp. Turn off a bloom in the settings. Oh my god. The game looks so much better without bloom on. Gotta say that. Hair in the game looks amazing. The hair, they have nailed it. I've never seen hair this good in a video game before, which is something that I've also seen other reviewers actually praise in this game, that the hair looks good. It's like a commercial. Loving it, loving it. The menus look nice. I'm loving the colors of the menus. The map could have looked better, actually, but I'm really picky when it comes to maps in my video games. I just don't like the look of maps like this. It's too simple for me, you know. I want to have proper maps with colors and the terrains and the surrounding areas. Like more details to any map in any game is what I prefer. This is not cutting it for me. Sound design is spectacular. Music is good. Sound design is really believable and it's giving a lot of believability to the world and all of the locations. Now, when it comes to combat, all of the three classes has 3 specializations each. So this gives a lot of room for you to customize how you want to play, your own playstyle. I am a Death Caller Mage, I think, which I think is just the most fun combat style of the game. Skill tree is not too big and not too small. Also, you have difficulty settings, and I mean, I'm playing on easy. I think I often play on easy. Actually, I wasn't sure. Maybe I'm probably playing on easy. Who am I kidding? Now, companions. Okay. You have Bellara, the cringe girl. Now you have Davrin. He has this griffin and he's a part of the Grey Warden clan. And he has probably the prettiest room in the lighthouse. Really cozy stuff. Now, Emmerich. I have to just admit that Emmerich is my favorite character of the game. He is so interesting and I am liking actually the voice actor of Emmerich. It's just really good. I feel like I've gotten to know him a lot, so he's like a companion I bring with me all the time. Emmerich is really interesting and really well written. Harding is an old friend that I remember from Inquisition. I often take her also along with me when I am traveling around in the world. She is also a companion that I really like her. And her companion quests were so good. I loved when we got to that dwarven underground ruin place. Amazing location. I don't have gameplay of that. Don't want to spoil that location. But that was really good. Now you have Lucanis. He loves his coffee. Definitely does. He's a part of the Treviso gang. Then you have Nev, which I am feeling sorry for him because I made a decision early in the game which totally screwed her over. So I constantly feel sorry for her, like I'm sorry. And yeah, this game has some decisions, a few of them actually, that will alter some stuff in the game, not to spoil anything. And then you have Taj, which is the character that has gotten a lot of critique also. Okay, so then we go over to the critique section of this review. Okay, so I've been studying a lot of the critique that this game has gotten, and I'm gonna tell you what I think. So people are saying that the choices don't matter. And actually, yes, this is correct. Some of the choices actually has no meaning. Like, you come across a guy and you choose, do you want him to live? Do you send him to the Grey Warden, or do you kill him or leave him or something? I've never seen anything about that storyline further into the game, like any consequences of that choice in particular. But there are at least two... I mean, there's one really big decision, which does give you consequences. So it's both true and not so true, because some consequences are definitely here, and also not in other choices. So writing, I think I went over that. Some of the writing is just not peak performance, and some of the writing is actually. So also here I am in the middle, you know, if I'm gonna respond to the critique, because it depends on which of the writers wrote it. Now when it comes to the critique of the modern elements, yes, this is a medieval fantasy world, and it is also containing like modern elements of human life in 2025, if you know what I mean, in this setting, in this fantasy setting. And I can totally get this critique because, and this art book taught me a word. I'm gonna read a word for you, okay? It had to do with a submarine that they wanted to have as a home base in the game. But they used a specific word. They wanted to use submarines, but the idea was completely insane. This brought up the challenge of anachronism. This makes sense. Okay, hold on. A thing belonging or appropriate to a period other than in which it exists. It makes more sense to have a super modern elements in like cyberpunk, and then some, if you know what I mean. It needs to fit the setting in order to not be jarring, which is a critique point that I am understanding. So my verdict. The fun factor is high. As you can hear, I have been obsessed with the world and the lore and the characters and Emmerich, and I gotta tell you about my favorite moments. Arriving at Necropolis was one big highlight moment for me. I don't know why, but it was just such an amazing moment and such an amazing location. So exciting. I'm loving this Necropolis area. It's my favorite area of the game, probably. I think so, okay. And it's also where Emmerich is from. Another favorite moment is actually a story quest, so I'm not gonna spoil it, but you are going to a fort, which is Weishout. I can't pronounce that place, but the ending of that storyline quest was really good. Also that dwarven underground place that I mentioned when I talked about Harding, that was also a moment. And also another highlight of the game is just the banter between the characters. And I'm getting a feeling that they all have unique dialogues for every single quest, which means you're never gonna see all of the dialogue. Because you can only bring 2 people with you, and they have specific interaction dialogue between them when you are entering like a specific quest. There's just a lot Also, I'm loving the graphics and the art direction of this game. I'm loving how things look. I'm loving the more cartoony look. I'm loving the more colors look, like coming from Inquisition, which was more realism. I'm loving this. I love this game so much that I bought the art book. And Dragon Age the Veilguard is so high-end, so polished. You're feeling like you're playing a triple-A game. I love to smash and trash all of the crates. There's a lot of fun factor in that also. Just smashing everything you see. I love when games has that. I wish you could swim. You can't. You can't swim in this game. I actually wish you could. Okay, so I'm giving Dragon Age the Veilguard a 9 out of 10. I am loving this game. I bought the art book and I'm just having such a fun moment. The fun factor is high and I want more Dragon Age. And I'm hoping that we get more Dragon Age. But I don't know if we're gonna get more, since this one actually flopped sales-wise. I think this is way better than Inquisition. It's my favorite Dragon Age game. I need to play 1 and 2 also, they're so old. But as an ending, I want to say, make up your own mind when it comes to video games, like I did. And I actually found a lot of enjoyment in this game, okay? If I had started playing this last year, when it was released, I'm late to the party, it may have actually been my game of the year. This is how much I'm loving the game. Make up your own mind. Now, thank you so much for watching this really long review. This took a lot of time to make and a lot of time to edit, I'm sure. So please hit like on this video and that helps. That helps the channel out, that helps the video out. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you later.